Hello and welcome to Time Out, your live daily huddle with Tristan White for Tuesday, June the 16th. Really nice to be here with you. If this is your first, your 10th, your 20th, or maybe even your 40th Time Out, welcome and thanks for being here with me. I'm really grateful for your time. Now, Time Out is a quick daily meeting, a bit like a timeout in basketball. In Time Out, we stop and as a team, we come together to design and plan what's going to happen for the next play. Well, here at Time Out, we focus on what's going to happen for the next day. My name is Tristan White. I'm the founder and CEO of the Physio Co, a healthcare company that exists to help seniors stay mobile, safe and happy. And I'm also the host or the guide of this online community called the Culture is Everything crew. The Culture is Everything crew are leaders like you and I who have got important work to do. We want to stay on track. We want to be supported. We want to be held account to the important work that we do. If you're here and if you're listening, please give us a thumbs up. Jump in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Love to hear from you. Love to get you involved. If you're here on the replay, feel free to jump in the comments as well. I promise to circle back. There were people, Phil David who commented yesterday in the replay. I certainly jumped back in there, as did Carmel Keylock. If you're here live, please jump in the comments. If you're on the replay, do the same too. I promise to get back to you. Now, this Time Out Live Daily Huddle will go for 12 minutes or thereabouts, and we'll go through three things like in every huddle. And those three things are what's going on, where I share my priorities and I ask you to share your priorities as well. It's important we know what the 1, 2, 3 things we're working on today to make progress on how we're going to bring our vision to life. Secondly, where are you stuck? A chance to share a problem, identify something that's not quite working out very well, and then we can make sure that we fix it not here at Time Out, but in the next day or week or so. And the last thing, a good news story, usually told through the lens of a core value. Now, Ash is here. Ash says he's tuning in from sunny South Gippsland. Me too, I'm in Foster. It's pretty wet and cold here, but the sun is shining right now. So nice to have you here with us, Ash. Thanks for jumping in. Alrighty, in just a moment I'm going to start that clock in the top of the screen and we're going to go for 12 minutes. But before I do that, I always like to ask, how did you go yesterday? It's important to stay accountable and make sure that we keep track of what our priorities were yesterday, how we went, how many we got right, or how many we got done. And then if we need to, the ones that didn't get done on the list for the next 24-hour period, so we can keep going, keep making progress. It's okay if we don't get them all done in any 24-hour period. So, I got 4 out of the 5 that I shared with you yesterday completed. Pretty good day. 5 out of 5 would be fantastic. 2 or 3 not so good, but 4 out of 5 pretty good. So that's the how I went yesterday. How did you go? If you've got your priorities there and you had them from the last 24 hours, please jump in and let me know. Did you get them all done? 1 or 2? How'd you go? Would love to know how that went. Marge is here too. Hi Marge, nice to have you with us. But right on time, we are going to start this clock in the top of the screen here and get stuck into Time Out for today. So 12 minutes of counting, welcome to Time Out. The first item on every single Time Out is what's going on. What's going on is where we share our priorities for the day. Ideally, a top 3 priorities for the team that we're working on is really important. I'm going to share with you 3 priorities from my job at the Physio Co. And they are, the first one is to have a call with Mike. Mike Quinn leads our operations at the Physio Co. He's responsible for delivering the services of physios, helping older people stay mobile, safe and happy. And this morning, I spent a good 45 minutes on a Zoom call with Mike, catching up on what's been happening over the last few weeks. I've been on leave. This is my first week back and catching up, making sure that I've got the updates of what's been going on. If there's any decisions that haven't been made because they've been waiting for me to come back from leave, and or how Mike's going with his priorities to making sure he's making progress on the important things which will move our team and our business forward. So that's the first priority, and that's done early this morning. Secondly, I need to prepare for our weekly team meeting. Wednesday mornings, if you've been coming to these timeouts for a while, you'll know that every Wednesday morning, our 5-person executive team at the Physio Co comes together to make sure we're communicating what's happening, we're passing on what we're hearing, and we're keeping each other to account on making progress in our priorities, and I need to prepare for that. It's my first one in a few weeks. And the last one is I've got a meeting this Savo after timeout, and it is about digital marketing for the Physio Co. Digital advertising, communication, how we can communicate more our message of how we can help seniors stay mobile, safe and happy to more people, so we can attract more customers and help more people to set and smash goals in the financial year ahead, starting from the 1st of July. So that's my 3 priorities for the Physio Co. What are yours? What are you working on today that will help to move you and your team a little bit closer to a vision or to a dream or to a plan that you've got that's coming up in the next little while? I'd love it if you're here and you'd love to drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're working on. I'd love to read it. I'd love it to share. And if I can, I'd love to help you. If you're not ready to share, then at the very least, please have them written down, have them in a planner, have them on your phone, have them somewhere. If you don't know your priorities, then it's almost impossible to make progress on the important things that you're working on for you and your team. So they are the 3 priorities that I've got for my job at the Physio Co. But I always like to share a total of 5 priorities for me so that I, 1, keep myself to account, and 2, share some good examples, or hopefully some examples that will help you to understand what priorities could look like depending on what your team looks like. And so I'm going to share 1 priority for the work I'm doing with you guys, the Culture is Everything crew. And that is that I need to record the solo podcast, the podcast which will just be me speaking on episode 56 of the Think Big, Act Small podcast. Now, if you were listening yesterday, if you were here, you'll know that was on my list of priorities to happen in the last 24 hours. And I didn't get it done. I didn't get it done. It needs to be done today. It needs to be done soon. And I didn't get it done this morning when I was supposed to get it done. I had it scheduled, something else happened, I didn't stick to that plan, and I need to get it sorted out today. So that's my 1 priority for the Culture is Everything crew. And the last one, a personal priority, is I like to run every second day. I like to keep fit, I like to keep moving. Running is a priority of mine for this year. I've decided that I'll run every second day, and today's a run day. So later on the Savo, after the work's done, I need to get out. Hopefully the sun will still be shining, and get a run done this afternoon. So that's it. They are my priorities for today, for Tuesday, which will roll through until this time tomorrow. If you're here and you'd like to share, please drop them in the comments. I'd love to see them. If you're on the replay, feel free to share your comments. Happy to receive them any way you like. At the very least, know what your priorities are. This is how we make progress, is to be effective in what we're doing by knowing what's important and focusing on these important priorities day in and day out. So that's the first part of your Time Out Live Daily Huddle. The second part, part 2, is where are you stuck? Now this, I reckon, is probably the most important part of any Time Out Live Daily Huddle, of our Time Out Huddle, but of any huddle that you're having with your team, because it's all well and good to be making progress, doing more stuff, making more progress, doing more stuff. But if there's something in the way which is slowing you down, then it's really important to identify it and to find a way to make a note, give it to someone as a champion. Who is the person who's responsible for finding a solution for this? They can ask for help, they can bring other people into the conversation, but someone's got to be responsible, and ideally even a date when it's going to be completed by is really important. So where are you stuck is the next part of the huddle. At the Physio Co, where we've been having a daily huddle for over a decade with our support team, we've got a whiteboard which has got the Where Are You Stuck board on it. It's inside our office in South Melbourne. But we haven't been working from our office in South Melbourne since March of this year because we're in the middle of this COVID-19 period. And so we had to adjust from a whiteboard, a physical whiteboard, to an online virtual Where Are You Stuck board. It doesn't matter how you record it. It doesn't matter the way you do it. It's important that you've got a Where Are You Stuck board and that everyone's encouraged to find things that aren't quite working out, be humble enough to share them and to mention them, and then we can resolve them and move on. So that's the concept of Where Are You Stuck. Now, the only thing that I can mention on Where Are You Stuck is just me getting into the rhythm of getting back to getting my important priorities done. I missed that podcast I was supposed to be doing. It's not a big one. It's not a big Where Are You Stuck item, but I need to make sure I'm sticking to my planner. I'm sticking to the times I've got and to get back into the swing of getting things done as I come back for some leave. So that's Where Are You Stuck from my end. How about you? Where are you stuck? at your end, anything that's in the way, a system you haven't quite got built in your business yet, something that is slowing down the progress on your important priorities, feel free, drop it in the comments. If I can help you, I will. And sometimes it may not be me who helps, it might be the other members of this Culture is Everything crew who are listening either live or on the replay can help you out as well. So feel free to drop it in. We'll help you out the best way we can. Alrighty, 5 minutes left on the timer. We are in good time today. The third and final part of the Time Out Live Daily Huddle is a good news story told through the lens of a core value. Now, core values are a bit like rules, more like guiding principles for a team. And yesterday I shared a core value from Steve Player, and Steve Player was our guest on the Think Big Act Small podcast, and Steve is the CEO of Ferguson Player Bakehouses. Baking people happy is one of the important things that Ferguson Player like to say. And so that was yesterday, but today we've got a good news story that comes from one of us, from the Culture is Everything crew, from one of the crew that's been listening in, and it's someone who's here with us today, and that's Ash Robbo. Now, Ash started a business or started an organisation called 11 Live Loud in 2018. And 11 Live Loud exists to help bands to be exposed to audiences, to be promoted, and to get an opportunity to share their songs and share their craft or their art with the world. And during COVID-19 period, there's been 7 bands from the 11 Live Loud family that have found their way onto an international FM radio station. Chaos FM is the station. It's based in Seattle in the US. And through the hard work of Ash and the team that have been living this core value of learn your craft, better yourself, support those around you. So let me say that again. Learn your craft, better yourself, support those around you is the core value of 11 Live Loud. And Ash himself has lived it as he's found a way to introduce the Chaos FM to the 11 Live Loud family, and then get 7 of these bands to be exposed and onto this international radio station over the last few months. Ash, love your work. I hope I told the story close to as accurately as I could as you passed it on to me. But love your work. Thanks for sharing it. Keep it up, the hard work with your team and with your bands. If there's anyone else listening who's part of this crew, they've got an example of a core value being lived, a good news story, please let me know either via Facebook message, in the comments here on this stream, send me an email, tristan@tristanwhite.com.au. I'd love to share your good news story as well. Really appreciate that we've got a crew. There's so much positivity, there's so many good things happening, and we really need to make sure that we not only catching people doing things that aren't quite right. The where are you stuck is important, but the catching people doing something right is so important. Sharing those stories, and I would love to be part of telling these stories on behalf of you and your team. So please do let me know if you get a chance. That's it. That is our Time Out Live Daily Huddle for Tuesday, June the 16th, 2020. Thanks for being here. If you've got your priorities, you know what you're working on, get stuck into it. I'd love for you to, nothing more than for you to make good progress on those priorities tomorrow. Come back feeling good about the progress you've made. Let me know how you went. And I'd love to know anything that I can help you with. If you got value from Time Out Live Daily Huddle, feel free to please like it, share it privately, or share it publicly. The more people we can help to feel supported, to be held to account, and also to learn how this short, sharp meeting with their own team, or maybe they're working on their own and this keeps them to account as well. Either way, it makes no difference. But if you've got important work to do, or you know someone who's got important work to do that could benefit from a Time Out Live Daily Huddle, please invite them along. The more, the better. We'd love to have them here. That's it. I'm going to press a button over here, which is going to get us out of here. For the time being, I will see you tomorrow, 1:03 p.m. Melbourne, Sydney time on Wednesday for our Time Out Huddle. Until then, catch you later. Have a great day. See ya.